I have decided to do my reflections in a vlog style to sort of get my word of mouth across a bit easier, as I feel with my dyslexia I do struggle a lot with making coherent sentences. So without further ado, let's get started. So, okay, day one. Uh, it started off well. Apart from the fact that Brandon got into a little crash before we'd even started, but that's neither here nor there. One of the things that kind of went wrong at the start of the first day, this was I had lost the captain's telescope during transport, and this is always annoyed me because with the captain, I always wanted to make sure he had his telescope on him, as it was I thought it was the best way to show the audience how the captain who the captain was looking at. Like, because at the beginning the captain was just looking like, oh my god, there's a giant peach. But then when he got his telescope out, it would show that the captain can see who's on the peach. But I made do with it by, making him do, like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? I don't know how else to explain it. But okay. The first play, the first showing of this was done to years 4, 5, and 6, and from what I could tell, they really enjoyed it. They were definitely entertained. There wasn't any and we didn't have any problems doing the performance. The only thing that we could call a problem was that during the performance, the bottom half of the peach started to slide away from from the top half, as the brakes were not put on properly. That was definitely a teachable lesson there. And I try to get it back if I could while still staying in position, but I failed at that. Something that I did notice is that after we'd finished the play, was that the children were they were either very scared of him at of the captain at first, or they really loved him. And I'm guessing it was just nerves, or just a fear of puppets, but I'm gonna say more nerves. And but what definitely did show is that, because I made sure to make the captain a very playful character, that even the ones that were sort of scared of him, after a while they all warmed up to him, which I proved during the workshop, but I'll get to that in a minute. One thing that was annoying, and that I don't know why I didn't expect this, but it was we found it a bit cramped backstage, which I should have expected, but and I still don't think for the entirety of the week I fully grasped that fact, that it would be cramped all the time. But yeah, next is after we'd finished the performance with the kids, we did a bit of an autograph signing, and in which some of the children came back and got autographs from the different characters in the play, which was very nice, and I really enjoyed it. And but yeah, that's about all that happened there. Then we had the workshops, and we were split off into different groups, and we were then so I was in a group with Ella, Brandon, and Monique, and it was Ella was in charge, and we did a workshop with one of the classes, and the reason and actually in that class were two girls that I'd noticed were very apprehensive with the captain before, and but by the end of it, they actually really loved the captain, which I thought was I thought was a very good achievement on my part, but that's I feel like that's gloating. But so oh, that's also something I for the workshops, which is a reoccurring thing I decided to do, was I thought it would be quite a good idea to bring the captain with me, as it would be a nice little treat for the children. You know, you have a muck about with the captain a bit. You know, do a bit of gags here and there and whatnot. So we started off the workshop by doing a name game, like, oh, who am I? So we just went around. Everyone went into a circle, and we just everyone said their name, so they knew who we were, and they knew who, and we sort of knew who they were. Well, which I still struggled with because I'm very bad with names, but that doesn't matter. After which we played Keepy Uppy Peach, which was just Keepy Uppy with a balloon, and if I remember correctly, no, I've got it written down. It was they ended with a score of 214, which was definitely very good. But something I did, I think I did poorly during the workshop, was that I let the kids have a bit like I let the kids have a bit too much too too much fun with the captain. And because during that I wanted to let the captain be sort of a fun entity, someone the kids can just sort of chuckle at all the time. But what I failed to do was keep the captain in control, if that makes sense. Because what I'd accidentally done was let the children choose what the captain was doing during those little moments, which meant that I wasn't in control of those situations. I was able to rectify it slightly, but it was definitely a moment where that taught me how to, like, I gotta make sure even if me as a person I'm not part of it, but if the captain was in the little group doing the talking, that the captain still had control, because otherwise it gets out of hand really quickly. Sorry. Something that I thought was very nice is by the end, some of the kids were asking for our autographs ourselves, because we'd been writing as our characters, but some of them were asking for us as well, which was quite nice. That was quite a nice little moment. So what else did we do? Apart from we did name game, and we did Keepy Uppy Peach, and then we played a bit of Stuck in the Mud. Now that went well. I don't think I think Stuck in the Mud in all of the workshops just didn't go down too well. I don't think it was a game that everyone was too invested in, personally. That's what I thought. Because especially since that during the first workshop, while playing Stuck in the Mud, kids were coming up to me and asking for the captain's autograph, which really showed that they weren't really invested in that game. We weren't in that too long though, thankfully. And then we played James Says, which is just Simon Says, but because we had Brandon who played James in the play, we called it James Says. And we played a bit of James Says for a bit. And then, but yeah, that's pretty much all we did. And like I said earlier, Ella was in charge of the workshop, and it was me and Ella, Brandon and Monique. And I think Ella did quite a good job at controlling, keeping order in the classroom. I think she did very well with that, and I definitely was impressed. I know I kind of faltered on that front, which was bad on my part. But I think I learnt from that workshop on what to do and what not to do. So yeah, um, the so that was the morning, and then we got to the afternoon where we did our second showing of James and the Giant Peach, and this was to year ones up to year three, which and there were definitely a lot more of the. There was a lot more. I could be wrong, but that was my. I do believe it was years ones, two, and three that we did the performance to. So I did at this point I had found the captain's telescope, which was a big relief. As I thought, like especially with this audience, the younger audience, I wanted them to be able to. I wanted to make it as easy to follow as possible for them, as they were quite young. Well, when but yeah, sorry, reading my own notes, but no, everything went, so one of the things that went, I think we definitely struggled keeping control over the audience during this run, during the second run. I'm pretty sure it's because they were like it was just there were bunch there was like 100 or 200 year ones to year threes in there, and it was a lot harder for us to control them during performance and stay in character. Thankfully though, the teachers were quite helpful, and they sort of they got the audience under control whenever we couldn't, which definitely helped a lot. Um, but yeah, I think. But to be honest, that was the biggest failing there. That we couldn't keep control. It's even at the bits we thought we could, were we thought were controllable, ended up with we ended up riling the crowd up, and but and I think but we had to go. I definitely went away trying to think of ways to keep the audience doing what we wanted them to do. I'm not sure if I didn't come up with anything specific, but I think it was which probably meant I failed at that point. But it was something to try. I wanted to try and think of a way to do. I didn't come up with anything, but I'm pretty sure the rest of the class came up with it. I think definitely Anna and Chloe did, because they were especially they started to get a lot better at it in the days to come. But that's about apart from that, everything was perfect in that run. There wasn't much to do there. Next was the workshop for the year ones to year threes. This workshop did not go as well. Ella did her best to keep the control of them, but they were just hit. I'm here now. I'm there. I'm here. I'm there. I'm here. They're there. But she and I thought it was gonna get too out of hand at one point, but then she did something that actually kind of impressed me. She decided to implement a system where if she put her hand up in the air, everyone else would, all the children would do the same. And she did it which was just, it was simple, but yet brilliant. Because it just meant that whenever she wanted, she could get everyone to be quiet and just shut up. It was perfect. It brought back the control, a lot of the control that we failed to grasp during this one, during that workshop. I decided to bring the captain with me again. I'd learnt from the previous workshop how to, that I need to keep control over him and what he's doing, and I think I did that quite well during this workshop. I think I was able to keep the children having fun, but also make sure that they're not mucking around. The captain's not getting torn apart as well. But yeah, there was. I do remember there was one student, one of the pupils who definitely didn't follow any of the rules at all, which was a bit hard. But the teacher helped us out with him, which was very helpful. But apart from that, it was the same. We did name game, Keepy Uppy Peach, and then Stuck in the Mud, which again didn't work, which is why I think Stuck in the Mud was not really a good choice for in the workshops. It just didn't stick with any of the either of the workshops. But one thing we did do differently in this workshop is we did Baby Shark, which I like. Personally, I don't like the song. It's just terrible. But it but the kids definitely loved it, and I decided to try and get the captain to join in, which I thought the kids quite liked. But that's it on that. And the only other thing I could think about to put in here was the loading and unloading of the van, which was done well. There's nothing to say. It was in and out, quick as that. Well, not quick as that, but we got everything in, everything out, no problems. But yeah, that's day one. So thank you for watching.